Last night, Real Time with Bill Maher didn't just air. It erupted. What was supposed to be a standard political segment turned into a viral showdown when Rep. Jasmine Crocket was booted from the set after a fiery exchange with Maher that left the audience in stunned silence and the internet ablaze. The crowd was electric from the start, expecting Maher's usual blend of sarcasm and sharp commentary. Crocket, however, came prepared for more than banter. She wasn't there to play along. She was there to challenge. The tension crackled the moment the conversation turned to voting rights. Maher, with his trademark smirk, tossed out a provocation. "Jasmine, maybe people don't show up to vote because they just don't care." The audience chuckled. Crocket didn't. "Don't care," she shot back, her tone steady but piercing. "People are fighting for their voices. You're mocking a struggle that's very real." She laid it out clearly. How restrictive voter ID laws in states like Texas disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Some members of the audience cheered. Others squirmed. Maher pressed on. "Sounds like excuses. Maybe it's time Democrats own the turnout problem." Crocket didn't flinch. "I'm talking about real people being blocked from voting," she said. "You're trivializing their struggle." Maher, visibly annoyed, snapped, "This is a comedy show. Lighten up or leave." The crowd gasped. Phones came out. Eyes darted between Crocket and Maher as the temperature in the room soared. "Lighten up?" she fired back. "I'm here for justice. You don't get to laugh that away." The audience was split. Some clapped, some stared, and the producers looked panicked. What they'd hoped would be a spicy debate had become a runaway inferno. When Maher motioned for security and said, "You're derailing the show, Jasmine. Time to go," the place erupted. Security moved in, and as Crocket stood her ground, she delivered the moment that would be replayed endlessly across social media. "Derailing? No, I'm speaking truth. You're just not ready for it." Outside the studio, Crocket didn't back down. Surrounded by reporters, she doubled down. "Bill Maher's jokes make light of people who are fighting just to vote," she said, unwavering. "I'm not here for that." She pointed to real data. Thousands turned away at the polls due to restrictive laws. Her voice was calm, but every word burned with purpose. Meanwhile, the studio tried to recover. One stagehand muttered, "We're back on track," which only ignited more backlash. "On track?" someone shouted. "She's calling out voter suppression." Crocket, still fired up, responded without hesitation. "I'm fighting for justice, not airtime. I'm not done." Outside, the crowd surged, some chanting her name, others watching silently as she turned a studio exit into a rallying cry. Her message was loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. The segment may have ended, but the fire she lit is still burning, and it's spreading. Their headsets buzzed as the scene spiraled into chaos, the confrontation between Jasmine Crocket and the show's staff only intensifying. A reporter stepped in. "Not done? You just took on Maher. That's a big move." The comment fed the energy around Crocket, who was already riding a surge of momentum. It wasn't just that she got kicked off the show. It was the way she kept going once the cameras stopped rolling. Inside sources say a spokesperson tried to calm things down. "Big move, sure, but this is a comedy show." Their tone was measured but clearly defensive. Crocket didn't flinch. "Comedy? People's votes are on the line. That's no joke." She held up data on voter ID laws, laying out how they disproportionately impacted marginalized voters. The crowd started to split. Some shouted in support. Others stood stunned, phones out, as the scene started to go viral. The momentum only grew. One trending post read, She's not backing down. The energy outside the studio was electric. Crocket pressed on. No joke. Maher's show dodges the real stakes. I'll show you. Her voice trembled with conviction. Another reporter pushed back. You're stirring up a storm, Congresswoman. That's bold. But Crocket wasn't rattled. Bold? I'm speaking for the silenced. You're not ready for this. A show staffer muttered. She's running the show now. As the moment grew more intense by the second. The night had gone from political panel to street-level firestorm, and it was still spreading. The show's spokesperson made another attempt to contain the fire. Crocket, your point's valid, but this is a comedy platform. Let's keep it chill. Their voice was tense, trying to reel it back from the brink, but the crowd was charged. Some cheered, others muttered. Crocket shot back. Chill. My fight is for people being blocked from voting. That's not a laughing matter. Her voice rang out, cutting through the din. Cheers mixed with gasps, as producers signaled frantically, trying to salvage control. The spokesperson's tone sharpened. No laughing matter? You're taking on the whole platform here. Crocket, undeterred, hit back. A lot. I'm exposing suppressed voices. That's not just talk. The crowd responded. Some yelled, Keep it up, Jasmine! Others whispered, phones capturing every word, every gesture. One viral post read, She's trending hard. The spokesperson's voice cracked. Exposing. You're changing the game, Crocket. The crowd roared, some saying, She's too much. Others chanting, She's the real deal. It wasn't just the on-set drama that had people riveted. It was how Crocket seized control outside. Insiders said she leaned in, voice unshaken. Changing the game. Maher's jokes hide the truth. I'm bringing it to light. A reporter pushed again. Too light? You're a guest, Congresswoman. This is Maher's turf. The pushback was sharp, almost territorial. But Crocket didn't blink. His turf! People's votes matter more. Get ready. Her voice was firm, every word landing heavy. The energy was electric, nearly combustible. Sources said the crew was unraveling. She's relentless. One admitted as Crocket continued. Get ready. Maher's show ducks the real issue. My fight's just beginning. The spokesperson cut in again, their patience fading. You're pushing it, Crocket. This is chaos. But the crowd was already erupting. Some held signs, others live-streamed the moment. Crocket stood her ground, unwavering. Chaos! I'm fighting for justice, not your punchline. That line hit hard. Insiders said, She's stealing the show. The night barreled toward a climactic peak. Crocket's defiance wasn't just a moment. It was a movement igniting in real time. Last night, real time with Bill Maher didn't just court controversy. It detonated. And today, all anyone can talk about is how Representative Jasmine Crocket turned a TV clash into a nationwide flashpoint. After getting kicked off the show, she poured her heart into the street outside, her voice shaking the foundation of late night satire and lighting up every corner of the internet. I'm fighting for justice, not your punchline, she declared, raw, relentless, and unafraid. The media scrambled, X exploded, the crowd erupted. And the fire she lit? It's only getting bigger. They were driving the clash to a viral breaking point, and Jasmine Crocket wasn't letting up. She faced the reporters head-on. Punchline. Maher's jokes mock the real struggle of people trying to vote. I'm here for them. Her voice was steady, packed with fire, as she broke down how voter ID laws and mail-in ballot restrictions hit Black and Latino communities hardest. She cited statistics. Thousands turned away in Texas alone. The crowd outside buzzed with emotion. Some wiped away tears. Others shouted, "Keep going, Jasmine!" Meanwhile, a show spokesperson tried to rein her in. "Crocket, you're making waves. But this is Maher's show. Take it easy." Their voice was tight, control slipping. Cheers mixed with murmurs as the crew signaled frantically behind the scenes. The spokesperson pressed again. "Take it easy. You're calling out our host. That's a big swing." The words came sharp, personal. But Crocket didn't blink. "Big swing? I'm carrying their pain. You can't joke that away." Her voice cracked with intensity. Her eyes locked in. The crowd roared. Some chanted her name, others whispered. Phones raised as the moment surged online. One post read simply, "Crockets bringing it." The spokesperson's tone softened. "Pain. You're pushing hard, Crocket. This is real." Their voice quieted as the crowd swelled again. Some shouted, "She's winning." Others muttered, "She's intense." The energy had shifted. "This thing hit a fever pitch," insiders said. Crockett's voice rang out, clear and raw. "Pushing hard. My fight's their hope. Their silenced votes live in me." She shared stories of voters turned away, of families fighting for the right to be heard. The spokesperson stood frozen, their resistance fading. "Hope? You're fired up, Crocket." The voice came low, nearly reverent. The crowd exploded. People stood, filming, some crying. Clips flooded X. One caption read, "She's relentless." Another, "Crockett's fire, going viral." Still, she kept going. "Fired up? I'm their voice. Feel their fight." Her passion rolled through the crowd like a wave. The atmosphere turned electric. Maher's absence was deafening. The studio's grip slipped. What made this moment hit wasn't just the noise. It was how real Crocket got. Sources say the spokesperson clutched their notes. "Voice. You're shaking this show, Crocket." The tone was a mix of respect and fear. Crocket hit back without missing a beat. "Shaking? I'm their justice. Rethink your angle." Her words were fierce. The crowd roared louder. Some rushed closer. Others began chanting, "Jasmine's real." The spokesperson paused. "We hear you," they finally said. The clash hung suspended in the air, electric, tense. Insiders whispered, "She's rewriting the rules." The night barreled toward a wild, heart-pounding peak. Crockett's emotional stand wasn't just protest. It was transformation. She was setting up a move that would shock everyone. Last night, real time with Bill Maher hit an absolute climax, and the fallout is still everywhere. Jasmine Crocket just kicked off the show, delivered a stunning counter-strike outside the studio. Her defiance shook the scene. The crowd went wild. The media scrambled. X lit up like a firestorm. After Crockett's powerful declaration, "I'm their justice. Rethink your angle," and the show's reluctant concession, she elevated it again. Her fight for voting rights didn't just go viral. It detonated. The clash is now racing toward a full-blown supernova. Jasmine Crocket didn't hold back. Surrounded by reporters, she stood tall and steady. "Rethink? I'm showing the truth of voter suppression," she declared, her voice raw and relentless. Then, without warning, she pulled out a tablet and hit play. What followed stunned everyone. On screen, a compilation of real voters, Black, Latino, young, old, sharing gut-wrenching stories of being turned away at polling stations. "This is their fight, Bill. Hear it," she said, eyes burning with purpose. The crowd erupted, some cheering wildly, others wiping tears. The show's spokesperson stood frozen, jaw slack. "Crocket, this This wasn't the plan. Stop, they stammered, voice cracking under the pressure. But the crowd was already surging, phones in the air, gasps mixed with chants. Crockett didn't flinch. Not the plan? Their struggle doesn't fit your script. They need answers, not your jokes. Her words sliced deep as the video rolled on. Voters recounting ID barriers, shuttered polling places, rejected ballots. Her case now undeniable. Jasmine! Jasmine! The crowd began to chant. Others whispered, "She's unreal." X exploded. One post trended instantly. Crockets' bombshell. The spokespersons. Resistance collapsed. "You've got our attention, Crockett. We're listening," they said, their tone softer, almost respectful. "She's killing it," someone shouted. "She's fearless," another murmured. The vibe flipped. Total chaos. Electric, real. But Crockett held her ground. "Listening? That's not enough. Their hope needs action, not your silence," she snapped. The spokesperson hesitated, visibly shaken. "That's a bold move, Crockett. We're taking note." The crowd surged again, some standing, some crying, everyone filming. Clips hit X like wildfire. "Crockett's move!" read one post. "She's a force." Another. Millions watched. The spokesperson nodded slowly. "We're rethinking. Crockett, you've made your point." Their voice was quiet. The studio buzzed with tension. The show's stance was shifting, fast. What made this moment historic was Crockett's authenticity. Sources say the spokesperson clutched their notes. "You flipped this show, Crockett," they said, half shocked, half awed. "Flipped? No, I," amplified their voices. "And they deserve to be heard," she replied, her voice unwavering. The crowd roared. Some rushed forward. Others started chanting again. "Jasmine's fight!" The spokesperson took a breath. "You've spoken. We're processing." Their voice was concession. The clash was at its edge. One insider said plainly, "She's changed everything." The night charged toward a thunderous, triumphant end. Crockett's bold move, an unscripted shockwave, stunned the entire production. Real Time with Bill Maher hit its wildest finale ever, and it's all anyone can talk about. Outside the studio, after being kicked off the show, Crockett delivered the knockout. Her voter testimony compilation rocked the scene. The crowd roared. The media scrambled. X went into meltdown. Her words rang out. "I'm amplifying their voices. They deserve it." The show's team had no choice but to listen. "You've spoken. We're processing," one post quoted. Now a viral milestone. Even the spokesperson looked shaken. "Crockett, your move. It's huge. You've got our respect," they admitted. The crowd outside lost it. Cheers like a concert, people. Crying, phones flashing. Crockett stood her ground, firm, victorious. "Respect!" someone shouted. "Their voices won tonight." The crew stood silent, headsets down, every second caught on camera. And Crockett? She wasn't done. "One thing keeps me going. I hope I carry it," she said softly, tying it all back. ID laws, closed polls, ballot rejections. The spokesperson nodded finally. "We get it, Crockett. You've changed the vibe." Their tone, 100% respectful. The crowd chanted again. "She's the real deal." As clips flooded X, one headline screamed, "Crockett owns Maher." Another, "She's a legend." Millions watched. The spokesperson wrapped it up with a nod. "We're moving forward, Crockett." The clash had settled, but the fallout was massive. As security cleared the scene, Crockett stepped back from the lights. I did this for them, she said, her voice low but fierce. Aides pulled her through the crowd, still buzzing. The show's team quietly slipped away, their tone now thoughtful. Fans filmed, others shouted, "Justice served!" And online, X detonated. Crocket shuts. Down Maher, read one viral thread, trending worldwide. Her move celebrated. The show's shift. A viral landmark, Crockett later posted, "Voices, jokes." 188,000 likes. Replies poured in. "You showed up for us." Memes exploded. TikTok, Instagram, every platform lit up. The saga left a mark. Her fight for voting rights. Now center stage. Her reputation, sky high. While Maher's silence has people guessing. Some think he'll clap back. Others say his spotlight's gone. Either way, the impact's massive. Experts are calling it a game changer. One said bluntly, Crockett didn't just flip the script, she broke it. Talk shows are taking notes. Tougher guests, tighter control. And the public split. Half shouting, "She called him out." Half asking, "Did she go too far?" But one thing's clear. This moment lit a fire. Crockett's voice is rising, louder, stronger. Maher's next move? A mystery. But one thing's for sure. This isn't over. It's only the beginning. Crockett's next fight. Maher's comeback. Brace for round 2.